Hiya, I'm Hayley, and we have a lot to talk about. I don't know if you can hear Coco right now. I see a truck outside with a fence on it, which means that there's probably going to be a lot of noise today. Apologies. Just thought before I start, I would give you a little hair update because it's been a while. This is how long it is. It's not too bad. I feel like at one point it felt like it was growing really fast. Now it feels like it's slowed down. I've been taking like vitamin D and the color is quite faded. But yeah, that's that. I have my graduation, my undergrad graduation, delayed in-person ceremony happening in a couple months, so I want it to look nice and neat and kind of not necessarily professional, but you know, sort of smart for graduation. So I'm trying to let it fade to blonde for that, and then I'll, depending on how bad it looks, either I'll dye it fresh right before or I'll probably dye it again afterwards. Do something crazy just because I can. But yeah, before I tied it up, I just wanted to show you a little hair update. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, funk it.
That is so cute.
Hello, are you?
We do not have one. Thank you for your cooperation.
Speak to a member of staff if you need further assistance.
So I showed up to class today in person because I was at the library, but it was an online class, so there's no one here. It's just me loving life. Yeah. The lighting in here is so good. It's kind of awkward being in such a big room by myself, but it is also quite nice at the same time just to have like a proper space. So yeah. I've literally been wearing my mask so long today, but I really don't mind it. Get this type, get this, I don't know what it's called, like a lycra type of material. and then yeah, it won't hurt your face or your ears. So productive day. So much essay writing, oh my god. But I got some tips from my friends, so shout out Harsh. Harsh is gonna single-handedly save my degree, I swear. So yeah, I got lots to think about. So now I'm gonna go home and eat because I'm so hungry. Bye.
Of Storm Eunice, history took a battering. Train lines had pretty much shut down in anticipation of the storm.
I have never seen a train like this before. Crazy. I'm just trying to get to my dad's house, you know? Everything is trying to stop me from doing this essay. This storm. Ugh. This storm is messing with my plans. I wanted this essay done. It will have to wait.
We are now approaching. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Right, sorry about that. Hiya, I'm Hayley, and today I wanted to give you a few updates. Mostly I wanted to talk about uni because I made a video at the start of the academic year talking about settling in and the first few weeks, and I've done a vlog, a week in my life kind of vlog. I was gonna do a day in the life at uni, maybe I will. Let me know if you guys want a day in the life vlog or not. I'm not sure that it will be that interesting because I really don't do that much. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to talk about Kings and about why I haven't been talking as much as I hoped I would and making as much content as I had originally planned. One of the main reasons, I hope I'm not going to get in trouble for this, I just got a job as a student ambassador, so I'm supposed to make uni look good, but this is my private channel. I mean, it's public content, but it's a personal thing. I am not affiliated with Kings. I just go there as a student, so I'm making this in the hopes that A, they don't discover it, and B, even if they did, don't think I'm breaking my contract. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just talking about my experience, and I hope that you guys, if you're master's students, you can relate. If you're thinking about postgrad, maybe it'll help you to think a bit harder about it. And yeah, just giving you guys the update that I promised. So get me in trouble. Where do I even start? Normally I plan my videos in this book, but today I am going off the script. Oh my god. I am going off script because I wanted it to be authentic. I wanted this to feel like a genuine video, not premeditated or anything like that. This is just my rambles about my life, and you can watch it if you're interested, and you don't have to if you're not, because that is the beauty of free choice. Let's break it down into different types of experiences. So I want to start with social. Sorry, I keep looking out the window, it's very distracting. I wanted to start with talking about my social experience. In the first term, I got in with a group of friends because I was taking a medieval module. They were from the medieval course, and I am on the early modern history course. So made friends with people from the medieval course, didn't make many friends on the early modern course because most of my time was spent doing medieval history and spending time with those people. One person I still see on a fairly regular basis. The rest, I don't see them. People at King's don't like group chats, and that's totally understandable, and that's a complete mess up on my behalf in a way, not being able to do that many societies because of commuting, and strikes have been happening, a storm has been happening. A few things have just generally been in my way when it comes to making friends on my course and in general at uni. So yeah, I have one friend who's not on my course, and oh no, they're drilling! Shut up! Yeah, so I've made some friends on the medieval course, but I only really talk to one of them still. And I've recently been making friends with someone who is from UCL and is taking a module offered to them at King's. King's and UCL have this kind of partnership. There was a module available to me that I could go to UCL to do, but it wasn't within my area of interest, so I chose not to. The friends that I've made have been very sort of here, there and everywhere. I tried to join a student group. I auditioned for a dance team, didn't get it. That's fine. Might have had something to do with the fact that I didn't buy a membership. Society memberships are so expensive. Oh my goodness, unaffordable. Like £80 for a membership for a society, which I know for what they offer is alright, but being postgrad, only having one loan, not having that much money left over after paying tuition fees means it's just not feasible for me to pay nearly £100 to have friends. So socially it feels quite isolated. Yeah, I've created a lot of group chats for classes and stuff, and people just don't seem that bothered about them. And I think doing postgrad and being in London, that kind of anonymity of London really gets to me. People are very insular and generally speaking are less interested in human connections and being friendly with people. They're more interested in what they are doing, which is totally fine. Like, especially in academic circles, a lot of people are very focused on what they are working on. But as a social person, doing my undergrad in York and then coming to London, it is a big difference that I still have not been able to adjust to. I just, maybe because I'm not from the city, I just simply cannot understand. Yeah, it's been a very difficult adjustment for me, and I like to think of myself as an adaptable person, but here I am adapting. I'm doing okay. I'm doing much more mentally okay with the social aspect of things than I was when I first started. I gave you guys that original update. So in terms of that, things haven't changed too much, but I am much more content with it, and I am much more accepting of my situation. So that's all good. That brings me on to the academic side of things, because it has been very full on and there is not much room for anything else. Which is the main cause of my distance from YouTube and distance from socializing more generally, which is why it's so understandable that people are more insular at a postgrad or just whatever in general at the moment, the people that I'm associating myself with. I feel like the deadlines were not thought through when they were set because they're all due at once. This is very hard to manage time-wise. Nobody said it would be easy. Doing a degree in general is not easy. Doing a postgrad degree is even more not easy. Basically what happened was I thought I knew what I wanted to write about for my dissertation. I wrote a dissertation proposal, submitted that, got the feedback, wasn't great, and realized that it's not going to be possible for me to do my desired dissertation topic, which means I have to rethink my entire degree, because the only reason I took this particular program at King's was so that I could pursue this interest, and now I am in an academic crisis where I'm not gonna be able to do it, which means despite having 4 essays to do all at once, I am now grappling with completely rethinking my dissertation. That has been very difficult, and I will not let you know how it goes until the very end. I feel like it's not very satisfying for me to just give you piecemeal updates going, well, this hasn't worked out. It doesn't make for a very good narrative. especially online. But yeah, that is my reality at the moment, is just I have so much work to do, and to be honest, mentally, I don't feel like I'm in a place to do any of it. Don't get me wrong, I love history, I love doing history, I love the academic setting and being able to pursue various different interests, but yeah, I just feel like this is my own downfall and I need to sacrifice other things like socializing in order to just work my butt off to try and get something good out of this. And I'm really hoping that with enough time and research put in, I can find something else that will re-spark that passion again, and I'll feel like working even harder than I ever have before. I'm taking it with a positive attitude. At least, you know, I have time to rethink and replan and re-research everything, and it's not a complete disaster just yet. So yes, nothing is unthinkable. You can do anything if you work hard enough. At least that's what they'll tell you. I really don't want this to come across as being like really negative, and I don't want this to come across as everything in life is going wrong and I have no friends and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm failing my degree. That is not the reality. That is not my reality. I am trying to carve out my own path in terms of what brings me happiness and what makes me feel fulfilled. And one of those things is that I am quitting my job. I had a part-time job as a cleaner and I am quitting that, sacrificing the extra money in order to have more time to spend researching for my dissertation and my essays, because that is what is really important to me. I think if I'm only here for a year, I might as well make it count. I'm going to do absolutely everything I can to try and make sure that I do well and have no regrets at the end. You know, no matter what the outcome is, I want to look back and be proud of myself for working hard, getting through. You know, this is what this part of life is all about. It's about character building, it's about being resilient, it's about taking life's challenges and rolling with it and not giving up and problem solving and all of these fun things that are part of what make you a rounded adult. So as much as I never feel like an actual adult, I am slowly character building. You know, I'm molding myself into the woman I want to become, or the woman I feel like maybe I ought to. So yeah, everything is not all doom and gloom. I would really like some more support from the uni, especially in terms of essay and research skills. Like having some skills workshops would be great. Not having strikes would be great. Hush, silence in the library. I definitely think I have reframed my mindset. When I started this, I didn't think that it would be the same as my undergrad degree by any means, but I had a certain expectation of what my lifestyle might be like. I have definitely got over that now. You know, you can't always change your situation, but you can always change the way that you think about your situation. And in my romanticization video, I talked about this thing where like it's like mental framing. It's like the terms by which you think about yourself and your life, they really matter. So the terms that I am thinking about myself and my life, I have changed in order to make my life better, in order to make my own happiness increase and try and manage my stress levels, which is always done imperfectly. So other than friends and academics stressing me out, careers has also been stressing me out a lot. It's my biggest, possibly my biggest worry recently. I have been going to a lot of careers talks, and they're all online of course, considering many options and feeling anxious about the future. And the reason that I'm putting this out there to YouTube is because I know that other people feel the same, and I just want to let you know that you're not alone. If you're 22 or even older and you're panicking about your future and you think, you know, you're terrified of just being a failure and not getting anywhere, or not being impressive enough, or not being able to do what it is you want to do, or not even ever finding something that you actually want to do, I'm with you. And You know, from what I've learned from history and from talking to people older than me who have careers, some people fall into things, some people know what they want to do, some people find them. No two people have the same path, and that's okay. And it's all about taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, one problem at a time. You never know what the future holds. The whole question that people used to ask in interviews about where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years or whatever, is bollocks. You can't predict where you're going to be in 5 or 10 years. How could anyone possibly know that? Life changes at such a rapid pace. We've all seen this, especially this past week or two. And so worrying so much about such a distant future, even if you think it's not distant, if it's 6 months or a year's time, it's distant from where you are today. You might be a different person to who you are today. Your mindset might be different. I'm trying to say something important, and my earring just broke in half. I don't know if you can see that, but my earring literally just broke in half. And now I've lost my train of thought. This is the problem with not writing any kind of script or guideline before I started filming this video. It's coming from the heart. I don't remember what I was saying, but basically life changes at an immense rate, and something might come along that will change your perspective completely, that will change what you want, that will change how you view yourself. You just don't know. So instead of worrying about it, you should take action to what you can do right now in the moment. And for me, that's finishing my degree, putting in effort into what is right here in front of me right now, and I'll worry about the future in the future. This is a mess of a video. I completely understand that. You know what? Sometimes I'm really good at these and sometimes I'm really not. And today is one of those times when I'm really not. I'm gonna go on a massive irrelevant rant right now because it has just come to me. I'm the perfect example of golden child syndrome. I was good at school when I was a kid. I got like 4 marks in my SATs. That then fed into my perception of myself. My own identity formation was created around being not only smart, but smarter than other people. And it's this comparison that shapes our identity, I think. The older you get, the more you realize you're not smarter than other people. But nevertheless, this identity that you have formed as a child doesn't really leave you. So you end up feeling very unfulfilled for your life. Unless you outperform not only your previous self, but other people around you as well. When I was in school, I always had somebody that I looked up to as my rival. They didn't know it, but personally it was an internal thing. It was like, I want to be at their level, I want to be better than their level, therefore they're my rival. That's what's going to motivate me to work really hard. And it's a really hard thing to get your head around, the fact that life is not a competition. Despite what social media will tell us about how if you're prettier than somebody else, if you're wealthier than somebody else, if you're more intelligent than somebody else, or even just more qualified than somebody else, then you are automatically upping them in this game of life. That is not the case. I recently watched a really good TED Talk, actually I listened to it, about the way that we measure GDP. This sounds irrelevant, but it's not, stay with me. There is a lot of work that is not calculated in GDP because it is largely domestic work. It's the work of life. Things like doing your household chores, looking after a relative, childcare, all of these things are, some would say work. They're not leisure activities, but they are nonetheless not valued in the same way because they're not seen as economically productive. And this highlights the fact that there's things that we don't take into consideration when we're talking about competition. Things like happiness and mental health and well-being. Somebody might not be doing as well as you in school, but they might be living an immensely fulfilling life outside of that environment. Somebody might not be earning as much money as you, but they are taking opportunities of their freedom outside of work to do something that makes them happy. I think it's really crazy how in the world that we live in, where so much emphasis is placed on mental health, we are still not considering it in the grand scheme of things. We are still not fully considering like the implications of having good or bad mental health to your overall well-being and your overall position in life. If life was a competition, surely it should be measured in happiness, not in wealth or status or anything else that is, relatively speaking, quite shallow. I hope that makes a lick of sense. It probably doesn't, because I haven't really thought about it. I'm just... bleh. So what I want you to do is to consider your mental health seriously. Somebody recently told me mental health is not a thing, and then I called them out on their bad mental health, and they said, please don't talk about mental health right now. Don't remind me about my bad mental health. And I'm like, you know, if you put more value in that, you would have a higher quality of life, because clearly mental health does matter and it does exist, because you're suffering from neglecting it. Overall, this year feels like the epitome of common sense is not that common. But then again, everything I say is completely contradictory anyway. I'm just here for the sole purpose of telling you that you should enjoy life, do what makes you happy, don't worry about the rest. I'm not here to bring you entertainment, okay? I'm here to give you a pep talk and tell you that you're great, and to tell you that life is great and happiness is worth pursuing, even instead of other things that people often traditionally measure each other by. You know, it's weird because when I first made YouTube videos, I wanted to make them about university life and all that jazz. And I just wanted to do casual vlogs and little talks about uni experience and things like that. And I then wanted to experiment a bit and just have fun with making videos, and now I'm at the stage where I want to put purpose into my videos, and I kind of want to do that in the form of, like my last video, reassurance and positivity. I think there are so many people out there who don't have and haven't had the kind of support that I have been so amazingly fortunate to have, and so I want to spread that, even if it's just in... oh my god, there's so much noise! So I want to spread some of that support that I've been given to you guys, even if it's just in a very distant format of YouTube videos. I had so many amazing responses to my last video saying about how it felt like talking to a friend, it felt like words that they needed to hear. You know, I'm here to tell you the things that you deserve to hear. You know, like, you deserve to be proud of yourself for how far you've come, for even just staying on this planet as long as you have. I'm here to tell you that your life is worth living, and there is so much fun to be had. You just don't know it yet. Happiness is there if you choose it. The power is in your hands, and I think I'm gonna go now. I apologize for this video. I just missed you guys, wanted to make something. The next video that I put out will hopefully be a vlog. I am going to Warwick with my friends, so I'm excited about that. I have been taking opportunities to go on day trips as and when I can, because I am desperate to travel and see the world and be grounded in various different places, and just knowing that the world is bigger than what's in my head. Yeah, I'm excited to bring you along with me for a day out, and I will talk more about that later. Stay safe, stay sane, and I'll see you next time.